Alright guys, so let's get straight into this video. I wanted to do a review, first impression, and just a makeup tutorial demo of the new Buxom x Ash K Holm Eyeshadow palette. This is actually my first time using a Buxom Cosmetics product. It's crazy to think that being on YouTube and Instagram, I've never used anything from Buxom Cosmetics. It's crazy, but Ash K Holm has always been, for quite a while now, to what I can remember, she is actually a Buxom Cosmetics makeup artist. So I'm really excited to see what they collaborated together on. I mean, when I saw Ash K Holm post this on her Instagram, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I kind of thought this was an ABH palette. The color story, just the layout of it kind of reminded me of an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. But then I really looked at it and I was like, you know what? No, it doesn't. There are some differences, but I know that was a very common comment that everybody was kind of making on Instagram. But the color story is really beautiful, honestly. You can definitely tell this you can use every day because you have your neutrals, everyday shadows, and then you have these really fun, but they're colorful, but they're very doable colors to use for someone that's not a makeup artist and just someone that loves to wear makeup. You can definitely mix these two to create some really beautiful looks. So I'm really excited because I've never used, again, like I mentioned, I've never used Buxom Cosmetics, and I've heard that their eyeshadows are like a primer infused formula. So that's really interesting. That's something I've never really even, I think I've seen or heard of, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm really excited to test this out on my eyes. So let's get into it. So per usual, I don't really plan when I'm creating looks. I kind of just go with the flow, go with it. That's my attitude when it comes to doing makeup, unless I know for a fact what I have to do, if I'm like told or I've already thought about it. But generally, I don't really know what I'm doing. So we're gonna go that way. But just to let you know, I did prep my eyes with this Master Eye Prep set from Makeup by Mario, and this is in the shade medium. I love setting my eyes with this eye primer. It has become my favorite ever since he's released it, and I've bought it. So I have a few brushes in front of me that I'm going to use, but let's see. I mean, I'm gonna kind of push back my hair, and let me zoom y'all in a little bit. You know, I also went ahead and kind of like adjusted my lighting lens setting so my face doesn't get completely washed out, because I always look super washed out whenever I'm filming videos. So, and it's because of my lighting and my lens and the whole spiel. But let's get into the main event, and that's the Buxom Cosmetics x Ash K Holm palette right here. So I definitely do want to use a pop of color. I'm not really, I don't know, but maybe I might, I don't know. I feel like I want to do purple. I do definitely want to use as many shadows as I can. So I'm going to take the shade Unfiltered. Oh my god, did I just dab my nail into it? I did, it's okay. I'm going to take Unfiltered and kind of just use that as a transition shade. I'm going to just quickly show you guys. Yeah, not bad. I'm going to dust whatever is off, and let's see how this looks. Oh, I'm so silly. I always forget that these have the little stickies on the mirrors, so I just took it off. I was like, why do I look so fuzzy on the mirror? Again, I'm so sorry if my lighting is washing the colors out, which, ooh, that's really pretty. I think it is washing out a little bit. I really need to figure that out. But this color looks pretty. Oh, I think I found my go-to transition shade now. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that. Do you guys see? That's a really pretty shade. It has a really nice golden tint to it. I like it. Well, that was really easy and simple, and it looks nice. You can definitely see it on camera. I see it. I do want to use that purple shade. It's calling my name. I think, why not? But before we go into that, I'm also going to apply the shade Teddy to just deepen up our crease a little bit, but not too much. It's pretty much almost in the same shadow, like the range. I'm just applying it with the same brush. Just because I am going in with that purple shadow, I just want to make sure it looks a little bit more put together, if possible, because I normally don't know what I'm doing. So You see, it just intensifies that just a tad, a smidge. Nothing too crazy. These two shadows so far are really pretty actually. They blend it out beautifully. Like look, it's super soft. These two shadows are definitely great, which is Teddy and Unfiltered, are really, really pretty, especially if you're trying to do a more soft glam look. I can see myself using just these two shades to do an everyday soft glam look that I'm normally used to doing. So I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna just go in with Teddy a little bit more. Like, do you get what I'm, like, do you know what I'm saying? I hope you guys do. So I kind of want to pack the purple all over my eye. I don't know why. I just do. So I'm gonna go ahead, and the shade name is Royalty. The shade's name is Royalty that I'm going into. It's that only purple matte shade in this palette. Oh wow, I just dabbed it a little bit, tapped it, and look how much came up. So I didn't even really pack it on. I kind of just went in like this. And there's pigment, it's there. I mean, obviously when you pack a shade on, you can always make a shadow work when you pack it on. It's blending it out is when you really see the formula, at least for me, of a shadow. But let's go ahead and just pack it on because I do already have foundation in my base on, which is not smart with color sometimes. I mean, there's no fallout, you know, just that, so I'm not mad at it. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with this look. So, and I have 2 new messages. So whenever I'm on YouTube and I'm watching videos, because you know I watch a lot of makeup videos too, people always say how purple, like a lot of makeup artists and just creators that have brands, they say that purple shadow is really difficult to make. Well, one of the shadows it's very difficult to make. But I mean, so far this purple is not bad. It's really nice. Like, it's not hard to work with. I definitely do have to go back in to like tweak it a little bit. Like, it does look a little off right there, but it's not the word. It's not like bad at all. Doesn't really know what she's talking about right now, so we're just gonna ignore everything I just said. Pretend like I didn't say anything, because I'm basically saying I don't know what I'm doing, which I don't. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more purple because I feel like it is a little patchy, the purple. And another way to really avoid that is to maybe put a base down when using such a popping color, like maybe put concealer or just some kind of like sticky base down. That could probably help you. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply a deeper shade in the outer corner there. So I really want to use that shade Rich Rich. That name is just calling me. So we're gonna take Rich Rich and we're gonna apply it to the corners right there. And again, I'm really just trying to use as many shadows as I can for the purpose of this video and this review, because we want to know if they're consistent, the shadows, you know, throughout the whole palette. So that's why I really want to just test it all out, even though it probably doesn't look nice, because I don't think my eye look looks good right now. But oh wow, that really is pretty rich, that dark brown. So that dark brown is a little, it does have extra kickback than the rest so far, at least to what I've noticed. I'm gonna go back in and just add some more purple because I feel like I lost some of it when applying that Rich Rich shade. I feel like the look will slowly come together. Right now, I'm not really feeling my look, but we'll make it work. It's not terrible, and it's honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. So we're gonna go in and try to salvage the situation of me not knowing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go in with that shade Major over the purple. I guess we can see if we can use it on a brush, but usually these kind of shades you kind of have to use with your finger. But let's see how much comes. I mean, it shows up a little bit. It's not too bad. I mean, yeah, it shows up with the brush. You can definitely use it with the brush. I'm gonna go in with my pinky and see if we can intensify it with the pinky. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, I felt like I could have just used this whole shadow over the lid and like called it a day. Like, this is beautiful, this shade. And this is in the shade Major. This is a major shade, honestly. I feel like major really saved this look because otherwise my look was not going anywhere. Yeah, that's a really pretty shadow. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some shadow on the bottom. I'm gonna take Teddy and Unfiltered and just apply that on the bottom here. There's a lot going on the top. You know what, I'm so silly. I should have applied the deep shade first. I wanna take Rich Rich again. And I just apply it as close to my lash line as possible. And then go in with Teddy and Unfiltered and just blend out beneath that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup off camera. This is what we have so far. Let's complete the makeup look and then we'll talk about the look. We'll talk about what I think, how it worked, and we'll talk about the palette and if it's worth it. So let me go ahead and complete the rest of my makeup. All right, you guys, so this is the complete look. I finished the rest. I will say, for a second there, I was really not having high hopes for this makeup look, but now that I'm completed and it's all pulled together, I really like this look. I think it's really pretty. I think the purple kind of worked out because of that shade Major. But let's get into the review. What do I think of this palette? I will say this palette has some really great shadows in here. I think I really love the neutral side and more just the matte. I think they blended out like a dream. I used these three. I didn't use Iconic, but I will say with just these three mattes alone, I think they're definitely shades I can use, especially when I do my soft glam looks. They blend it out seamlessly. They look beautiful. The pigment's there and there's no kickback, which is really nice. Now when it comes to this purple shade, like I mentioned, people always say purple shade is kind of hard to work with, but I will say this is quite patchy. You definitely have to pack it on, but I did see it being a little patchy. But I think the really saving grace of my look had to do with this really pretty shade right here, and that's Major. I think without that shadow, this look wouldn't really be as nice. So overall, I think it's a decent palette. Do I think it's a palette you need to go out and buy? I do not. I'm really interested to see what other palettes Buxom has. Personally, I feel like I could do without this purple shade and it would be great. And I think it's because it is a pretty finicky shade. It kind of like was a little patchy for me, but it also could be because of just, you know, user. So maybe I don't know what I'm doing. That could also be it. But I don't know, I feel like it's a decent palette. It looks pretty, the shadows blended out pretty well. But is it a palette that I think you need to go and buy? No, I don't. I think we all have so many eyeshadow palettes at this point that we know work and kind of have the same shadows. The only thing that was really calling my name was Dynasty and I didn't even use it. But it's because I was like, you know what, I always do neutral looks. Let me do something different. But I think this is definitely a palette that you don't need in your collection unless you want to support Ash-K Holm, and if you love the makeup artist and you love the brand, then I definitely see why you would want to pick this up. I love her, so I really wanted to show my support, but I personally don't think this is a must-get palette. This is definitely something you can pass and you won't feel bad about it. But yeah, I mean, that's just, like I told you guys, no matter the brand or the influencer or whoever it may be they collaborate with, I will still give you my honest opinion. And it's a decent palette. It does the job. If you need a palette, it'll work. I think the formula for those, especially those three, I will definitely be dipping into these. I might hit pan on these because these are great for everyday soft glam. But otherwise, I don't think I'll be using, you know, if anything, I will try Dynasty out. This shade right here, Stacks, was okay. Major is really pretty, so I will use Major, and I really want to dip into Dynasty. But I don't think this is going to be a very used palette in my collection, aside from just these three shades and then maybe trying out Major and Dynasty. So that is my review on the Buxom x Ash-K Holm palette. And yeah, before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do post new videos here every week. Also follow me on Instagram at Thehennaali. I'm always on Instagram live, you know, posting reels, doing everything. I'm trying to be extremely on top of my Instagram. I really want to be more personal on there. I know with YouTube it's hard because a lot of times we're so review based or craft videos or whatever it may be, but I really do want to get to know you guys more and who's here with me on my YouTube journey. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram so we can chat. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.